Welcome to another episode of Dude Knits. It's your dude, James, just coming back to you from Green Bay, Wisconsin. It is currently Saturday, November 6th, I believe. I could be wrong on the date. The days are flying by. I feel like October just started and we're already in November. So welcome to another episode. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. I purposely chose this time of day because we're getting some natural light, and so maybe that will help with the view, all that good stuff. How y'all doing? Are you having a good day? I hope so. And if not, I hope it gets better for you all. Feel free to grab some knitting, grab something to drink, and join me. I don't know how long this episode will be. I never know how long they're going to be, honestly, because I have a plan. Sometimes I write it down, sometimes I don't, and then I always just go wherever I go. It's my presentation style. I tell some of my poor coworkers that have to present to me, buckle up, because you never know where I'm going to go. I'll get a thought in the middle of a presentation, and then we'll have to go somewhere else. I don't know if you can hear Artemis. That kitty is playing in the background because she wants to do that. There she is, as soon as I start recording, so that's funny. But yeah, grab some knitting, grab something to drink, and buckle up. This is the last of my coffee. I like to go to a local coffee shop in Green Bay called Kavarna. It's amazing if you're ever in the area. I think I've talked about it before, and I like to go and just see people. And yes, that's Artemis. She's just real needy. Nothing new with her. She's probably like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, go take a nap. That's what I'm like. Go on, kitty cat. Go take a nap. Go on. Nope, she does not want to take a nap. I really hope y'all couldn't hear it. I just got a call. So it's a poop show, as the Needles at the Ready would say. It's a poop show today, but we are getting there. Okay, Artemis, go on. Go on. Go on. You're fine. She doesn't believe me. She doesn't believe me at all. So, let's start the episode just by talking about the last couple weeks. How have those been? They've been really good. I got to spend a lot of time with family, which is a good thing. It was my dad's birthday recently, and so we did a dinner at my sister's place, which was great because I got to see her as well. The whole family, it was great. It was a good time. I always tend to, in the middle of the fall semester, just get really busy with work, and so it's nice trying to find some balance and seeing family a little bit more often, because sometimes they'll be like, what happened to you? Where'd you go? And I'm like, sorry, this happens every year. So that was really good. It was good to see them. I've been working, as you probably know from my last episode, on some healthy habits and boundaries. Gotten back to the gym more often, which has been great. And I've been finding my balance with different things. Work is still stressful. We deal with stressful situations, so that part hasn't changed. It's how I'm reacting to it that has changed, so that's been a good thing. Yeah, there's some not great things happening. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I didn't ask any family members if I could share what's happening, but I'm thankful that I can be there to help support family. And sometimes life transitions happen and they're for the best, but it still is hard working with those things. So if I take a little bit of a break, or if there's a little bit of in between, that's probably because things are happening back home and I need to be there for people. So I appreciate understanding. We'll see what happens with that. But it's been good because I've been with family, and that's what's important. So that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been up to. This cat is just like, I think she's jealous of all of you, actually. Like, why are you talking to the people? You should be talking to me. Oh yeah, there she goes, giving me the little like winking at me with both eyes that cats do. So I'm a one cat guy. Are you all like a multiple pet people? I don't know that I could have multiple cats. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I just personally, like, she has so much personality just in one cat. I mean, it might be nice if the other cat could occupy her a little bit, but she's already 5 years old. So my mom has like 9 kittens right now. They live on a hobby farm, and people will constantly drop cats off, and sometimes they're pregnant and stuff like that. And so they won't even tell them they're dropping them off. They'll just drop them off in their car. There she is. Drop them off in their car, and then they have them in their hobby farm. And so my siblings and sibling-in-laws were trying to convince me to take another kitten, and I'm like, nope. I don't think Artemis could handle it. I don't think I could handle it. And I think I would like to get a dog someday when I have my own house, but my apartment's too small. And honestly, I think it's too small for 2 cats, really, because I would need to get an extra litter box, and all that good stuff. And no, the answer to that is no. That was a weird tangent, but welcome to the podcast. If you expected anything else, you must be new. Welcome. Welcome to our crazy adventures. So yeah, that's how the last couple weeks have been going. I've been doing a lot of knitting because it helps with stress relief and management. And as you can see, I am currently sporting the Opus shawl by Maxthekrutter. It is Max the Knitter. It is beautiful. It's wonderful. I used Cloudborn, and it's a sport weight that's 80% wool, 20% baby alpaca, which was close to the recommended yarn for the pattern. But a couple things. And I discovered this in the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, the MCAL. I am a very loose knitter. This is my first time doing mosaic knitting, but I have the actual numbers written down. The pattern, according to the pattern, when you get done with this, and this is a large triangle shawl, it is supposed to be 70 inches or 178 centimeters lengthwise, and the height is supposed to be 34 inches or 86 centimeters. Before I blocked it, before I got done, it was already 65 inches for the length, and it was 34 and a half for the height. And I don't know what those are in centimeters because I didn't convert it. So feel free to convert it if you would like to know that. And I wanted to block this a little aggressively because it's mosaic knitting. So the back side has all of the floats, and I'll show you this a little bit more in a second. But some of mine were really tight, and so I wanted to block it a little more aggressively. I went too far. Definitely too far. The finished after I've blocked it, and it was done, is 82 inches length and 48 inches in height. For those of you following along, that is literally 1 foot or 12 inches longer than the length is supposed to be, and it is 14 inches, so over a foot longer in height. And so it's big. This is a big boy. Yes, if you're wondering, this is a binder clip because I brought it to work and I didn't have any shawl pins or anything. So I used a binder clip, and I actually wore it opposite how it's shown in the pattern. So in the pattern, it shows you wearing the longest side in the front and then wrapping it around like this, and it looks beautiful. Mine goes down to like my knees when I do it that way. So I was on with one of the knitting groups, and they're like, James, why don't you just roll it like this and keep rolling it until it's shorter in the front and then wrap it? Which definitely works. It's way more squishy at that point. So for the walks into work, this is kind of perfect, because that lays kind of how it's supposed to be. But it's a big shawl, which I don't really mind at all. It's a schlanket, as I don't know where that term comes from, but it's a beauty, and it just keeps going and going. And even if I leaned back as far as I can, I mean, it is a monster shawl. The monster mash. Okay. I don't know where that came from, but it is also super warm. It's amazing, very soft. It's got a little bit of a halo, and I think that's from the alpaca, but it blocked. I liked how it blocked. It's just massive. And did I gauge swatch? No, I did not. It's a shawl. I don't gauge swatch shawls, and then I end up with this, which I'm fine with. I am not complaining. There's nothing wrong with the pattern. There's nothing wrong with the yarn. I'm just a loose knitter. So it's wonderful. It's beautiful. I tend to keep it in my car and I keep it at work. And I live in Wisconsin, so it's going to get cold. Like, this is the last nice weekend we have. And so I'm going to need it. But yeah, it's massive, it's big, and it's an FO. It's my first FO. It feels great. I did enjoy it. The last couple rows were kind of a lot. And you're supposed to do a 3-color I-cord bind-off, which I've never done an I-cord bind-off, so that was a learning experience. And then doing the 3rd color, trying to keep the 3 colors was too much for me. So instead, at my bind-off, the last color we did is this tan. And so for the bind-off, I just did the gray and the orange, which is a little bit harder to see. But it's this color orange here with the gray for the bind-off. And I did a 2-color one, which I am happy with. And it just feels great to be done. It's been a journey that I've been on with this shawl for many days, many weeks. And the coffee shop, I got so many compliments today when I wore it in because I was working on the MCAL, which I'm also finishing up. And I was wearing this because it was a little cold. Someone shut the blinds. And they're like, did you make that too that you're wearing? I'm like, I did. I did indeed make this. So it's wonderful. I'm so happy with it. It's the first time I used wool wash because I've never had it before. So the first time I used wool wash in my blocking, I did not use enough wool wash, I think. And thank you so much, Dawn, for that wool wash. Dawn from the Frivolous and the Frugal podcast. She's the Frivolous, Miss Dawn. I didn't use enough of it because my entire apartment, which is not very big, my entire apartment smelled like a sheep. Just straight up sheep. And I grew up on a hobby farm, so we had sheep. I know what sheep smell like. Yeah, that's what my entire apartment smelled like. And I think I just have cat hair in my mouth, which has become normal to me at this point. But continuing on the FOs, on where we're at, I've got a lot done. One of my cousins has asked me to make a couple gifts for Christmas for her daughter and some nieces. So if any of them are watching this, turn away. I don't think they do. Although my cousin, Johnny, and his, I think it's his wife, Tiffany, or they're engaged. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not quite sure. They said they watched my episode the other day, and I was blown out of the mind because I don't think either of them knit or crochet, and so, but that was cool. So thank them so much for watching. So my cousin wanted a couple different hats made for Christmas. So this is out of Lion brand Thick and Quick. So she wanted some hats. Oh, this is getting, there you go. That's more true to color like that. It's like a light purple, some tweed in it. This is a gray with some tweed in it, and these are number 6. I used a size 15 and I cast on 38. And I just did a 1x1 rib, and then I just did, just knit all the way up until my decreases. And I wanted them a little bit bigger so they can be kind of slouchy. So we'll see. Maybe I should have made them bigger. I don't know. But the big knits I think are popular now. Either way, it's handmade, and so I think Amber, my cousin, might steal them if her nieces and daughter don't want them. So yeah, just some simple hats, which have been great palette cleansers in between the Opus and the Mystery Knit Along. Some more quick projects that are done. The next one, she also bought some Red Heart, and she really liked the color, but I am a loose knitter, and I probably should have gone down a needle size or stitch counts, because this thing is massive. Like, it's just too big. This would never fit anyone. no, there's no head that this would really fit. So, I mean, for a loose knit, and I don't know, maybe if you have a lot of hair, that's helpful to have it because you don't want it tight, but I would not like this as a hat. I want my hats to stay on my head in a strong wind, and I don't think this one would. So, these are all acrylic, 100%. I think they're 100% acrylic, although the Thick and Quick might be 20% wool or something like that. So I will see what I'm going to do with that hat. I might re-knit it. I'm not going to frog it. I have enough leftover yarn that I'll just make another one. This is the last skein of the Thick and Quick for another bigger hat, which I like how those turned out. So I'll do the same with that color. But you get a lot of leftover with Thick and Quick. I mean, these are from the first two hats. So maybe I'll try to make some headbands to go with them. Or another hat with multiple colors. Like a striping effect would be cool. It would be fun. We'll see. It's big yarn. It goes by so fast. Those projects, I mean, I could probably finish one in a day, no problem. I like to switch up my projects though. So that's what I'm working on. That is in one of my lovely bags by Caitlin Did It bags. This is great. These are one of the bags that go up and down. So like if you're working on the project, you can put it down and then it goes up. So it goes down and up. I'm not good at doing this live apparently. There's two little tags. So it goes down, you can just work on it. And when you're done working on it, it goes up. Little magnetic clasp on the inside. And it has worked perfect. Space and astronauts and all that good stuff. Which I really wanted that style bag, so I wanted to test it out. And that was the most masculine pattern I could kind of find that was in the shop. And so check them out. I have loved the bag, no complaints. It's very useful. Very useful bag. So, what else am I going to talk about today? This is the gray yarn. So definitely enough to make another hat. Although I wanted to do the dragon scale mitts. And I have these patterns everywhere because they come on the ball bands. So dragon scale mitts by Erin Kate Archer as like an additional gift because this is not the big yarn and I have leftover. I might as well use it. And my cousin doesn't know this. Doesn't know this at all, but she was eyeing up this color. This is again Red Heart, just 100% acrylic. This is Artist Print. That's the name of the color way, Artist Print. Red Heart Super Saver, and I have this at home and didn't even realize it. So I'll probably make another hat. Maybe this one will be better, and she can kind of choose which ones she gives. So I always like having a hat on the needles. It's my version of a sock, which I have so much sock yarn. I really should cast on some more socks, but we'll see. We'll see where we go. We'll see what we do. Yeah, so that is it for the finished objects. I have just two whips to talk about today. The first one is the Celtic Knit 4 Clue 2. I started with Clue 2 because I heard Clue 1 was kind of difficult to start. There's, I think, one or two pattern issues. And a couple different people are doing this. So a Celtic Knit 4 by, check your screen. I've written it there. I can't remember who it's by. But each month they come out with a new pattern, cabling. I like to use the cable hook by Clover. This is my preferred way. I don't like the ones that are like straight with a little dip and then straight because I'm a loose knitter and my stitches fall off. So when I hook them like this, they don't fall off. And I've never been a fan of just pinching them because I always get distracted or somebody walks by or I don't know. I talk to someone and then it's no good. So yeah, so I am working on Clue 2. Here is my progress. It looks beautiful. They've already come out with Clue 3. I don't really think this is a spoiler. A lot of people are much farther than me that I know. And if you haven't, they already came out with the next one, so sorry. This is where we're at. I fell in love. I started doing this when I was trying to finish section 11 of the mystery knit along by Stephen West, the shawlography, and I needed a break because I wasn't happy with it, and I just fell in love. This is one of those patterns though that you need to focus on. The part I loved about it is every row was different. There was maybe 1 or 2 repeat rows, but there wasn't like repeat this 49 times, repeat this 15 times. They're almost all different because you need the cables in it. And so that was something I missed. Like even with the Opus shawl, you do a very similar repeat a lot of times, and I just wanted something that was different every time. And I've loved this, and I love how it looks. Cabling is not my favorite thing in the world, but it's definitely not something I dislike. This is out of Plymouth Encore yarn, which I got from the Silver Thimble, my local yarn shop in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So I have quite a bit. It was funny because in some of our Zoom knitting groups, I think it was Miss Dawn from the Frivolous and Frugal podcast, who had mentioned some people are buying the yarn for this Celtic quilt knit along, which every month you do a square, and by the time you're done, you'll have a quilt. But she said she was worried because, like, what if you can't get the colors? And then I went in to get more. I was going to do like a yellow and deep blue, which are kind of Ravenclaw colors from Harry Potter. There's no yellow at all. I know there's different shipping issues, and I haven't talked to Nan, the owner, which I could absolutely do. But instead, I think I am going to go with a rainbow theme. I like it. I like rainbows. Hello. I like rainbows. We'll see how it goes. Do a different color. I think I'll do a border in this gray color. So I went to Silver Thimble and I made some purchases because now we're moving into acquisitions. And so I already had this blue. So I was going to pair the yellow and the blue. But then I got this lovely red. And I had another one. There it is. This orange. So I'm going to do rainbow colors. This is the second clue. Technically, I probably should have done it in a different color, but I'm not going back. So I will do clue 1 in orange. Red, orange, yellow. I'll do the newest clue that just came out in green. Roy G. Biv. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And I'll have a little rainbow, which will be beautiful. And then I also, sorry for the crinkling, I've got this gray yarn to use as a border. I think the gray with all the bright colors just matches so well. Yeah, and I think that'll help with being able to see the cables and all of it. And it's a lovely pattern. I really recommend if you guys love cables and that stuff, and you just need something different every once in a while. I've really enjoyed every second of this. And actually, I can't wait to cast on the next month's. So I might spend some time working on this. I don't know when. I need to finish the Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West. So that's a whip. The Mystery Knit Along by Stephen West is a whip. And those are my only 2 active whips. If I start another hat, which I will because I have this color, that'll be another whip. But I try and cycle those pretty quickly. I don't really have any other active whips. Oh, I have the scrappy blanket that I'm making because I was jealous of my unborn niece or nephew. And I wanted a blanket like that, but I wanted it scrappy, so that, I guess, technically is a whip. Yeah, so we're making some progress. We're getting some things done. It feels good. It feels really good. I'm sorry if you can hear the traffic. And there's apparently an airplane or something going by. But it's hot in my apartment and I'm not going to shut the door. So we're awkwardly going to keep glancing out while I'm recording myself and wait for the noise to get done. So there's that. Oh, I think it's ending. And if you can't hear that, you get to have a fun experience of watching me and being like, what is her doing? So I want to go through some acquisitions before I get to the mystery knit along. I'll save that for the end. So I have a couple different things. These are, I'm not going to do spoiler warnings because I purposely wait a long time. So the first thing is Trilogy Yarns. Nancy from Trilogy Yarns did a Halloween advent called Practical Magic, which I love. That is one of my favorite Halloween time movies. I'm not a big horror or scary Halloween movie. I like Halloween Town. I like Practical Magic, Hocus Pocus, like those kinds of things. But of all of those, probably Practical Magic is my favorite. So I got the Advent. It's my first Advent I've ever gotten to. And they have this lovely, lovely bag by Stitching the High Notes. So it is so cool. I've already used it for one of the hats. So it's got, you know, a raven, a book of spells, a cat with the little moon symbol, which reminds me of Sailor Moon, for all the people that ever watched that show. I love it. It looks so cool. Mortar and pedestal. And I love that it's black and gray. You know, the flowers in here aren't really my style, but it goes along super well. It's a drawstring bag, which I know some people aren't a fan of zippers in their bags. It doesn't bother me, but I also like drawstring. So perfect bag. I love it. And if Miriam is watching, no, you can't have too many bags. So there's that. I love it. It looks great. And then the kit included, sorry for the crinkling, 14 mini skeins and one full-size skein or hank of yarn. And so they just look so good. I kept them all labeled. So, I mean, come on, you guys. They're beautiful. Look at all the different colors. Just look at them. They look so good. So freaking good. I still don't know exactly what I want to do. I mean, look at these colors. They smell amazing. They look amazing. Oh, girl power looks so cool. Pick up a broom. Join the circle. Oh, it's the gift of magic. Come on, Nancy. It's beautiful. One green eye, one blue. God, it's such a favorite part of the movie. Especially when he's all confused and he's like, I was born with it. I was born with it. Come on. Oh, the letter. Oh, the letter. This Kiss, such a good song. Jilly Bean. I mean, The Man Under the Roses. That's kind of creepy, but so appropriate. Let's do some spells. I mean, they are beautiful. They're simply beautiful. I'm so impressed with anybody that's ever been a dyer, which is not something I actively want to do now. I probably will in the future after I get to spinning at some point. And then, okay, here it is. Are you ready? It's just so beautiful. It's on their glamorous base, and it's called Practical Magic. Come on, you guys. Come on. Look at those colors. They are beautiful. Oh, it's so gorgeous. I have no idea what I want to do. I was watching Needles at the Ready, and I was watching Ray with his honeycomb shawl, which looked amazing. And somebody else posted a really awesome scarf that used, the honeycomb pattern. I have no idea, but I want to use all of them. I don't want to just use some of them in a project. And so I'm going to look up the yardage, figure that stuff out. Probably not something I'm going to start anytime soon. And Nancy was so sweet and sent in all this amazing like little treats and some teas and candy and all of that. So I love all of the colors. I love them all so much. I really, really do love them. And so, if you have not checked out Trilogy Yarns, Nancy does an amazing job. She also has a wonderful podcast that she does, which is great, in collaboration with I can't remember. It'll be on the screen at some point. And so it's wonderful. It's amazing. The next thing I had, which I'm also so excited about, and is a little bit of a spoiler, but we're past October. We're past October, folks. So this is the Mysterious Forest Friends. This is the club from Les Garçons, Boutique Les Garçons, Vincent and Max. So Bidels and Max the Knitter put this on. And so they're amazing. Look at this. Just look at it. It is so beautiful. It's got a bronze stellina in it, and the mini skein is amazing. So this is bronze sparkle sock in the Mysterious Fox, and it is 70% merino, 20% nylon, 10% bronze stellina. So that's the main skein. And then it's the merino sock mini in Cheryl's Coal Gray, which is 80% merino, 20% nylon, both in fingering. And it's just beautiful. I don't think I can show you the bronze sparkle because I don't know how, but it's nice and subdued, which I really, really appreciate. It's beautiful. And then it came with, we saw this awesome Progress Keeper little foxtail. Just look at that, which matches perfectly. There's also a sticker, which I don't have with me right here, but look at this fox pin. Just look at that Max designed, I'm pretty sure. It is perfect. It matches so well. I love that everything matches. I'm so excited for November, which I'm pretty sure is a bird. I think it's a raven. I don't know 100% for sure, which then I think means December is going to be some kind, it's either a deer or an elk or something. So I'm really looking forward to all of those. So appropriate. They match so well. I have obviously not used it. I do not know what I want it to be either, because it's either going to be a sock or it's going to be a Musselburgh, where I do the black for one part of it. So the black could be the top of one side, and then it'll be the bronze for the rest of it. And then depending on how you want to wear it, you can do it inside out and all that good stuff. So it's either going to be the Musselburgh or an amazing pair of socks. Very excited for that. So that is there. And then most of my time has been taken up with the Shawlography by Stephen West. And so I am on the last section, section 4. So if you don't want a spoiler, it's been over a week now, folks. I mean, if you haven't seen anything yet, you have some amazing willpower. I'm not going to put when it comes back on, though. There's one other thing I want to talk about, so you might just have to forward or get a friend to look for you. But I will show you the progress and where I am at. I do have a project page for this, so I'm not going to list out all the yarns, but feel free to look me up on Ravelry, Dude Knits 89. I have the project page for this with all of my yarns listed there if you're curious. You can also message me on Instagram. I'd be happy to let you know what I used, but here is where I am at. And I can't really spread it out all the way, but this is where I'm at. And then this is my bind off. So trying to get you a little more realistic view of it. The wings, which you can kind of see through. Again, I'm a loose knitter. I should have gone down to a 3. But I did not. Oh, it just looks beautiful. I really do love it. Just looks beautiful. Check it out. Check it out. It looks beautiful. Then I am starting my border. So there's where I'm at with the border. Done 2 repeats so far. I have 8 or 9 more to go. It will take me kind of a little bit of time, and it's kind of see-through because my gauge, this is the back side, which I know a lot of people like to see because you can see your colors differently. Those are all my colors. I love them. They look amazing. I learned some new techniques, bobbles. I've never done those before. I've done a little bit of brioche, but this was more long brioche, and I want to do more of it, actually. I really enjoy brioche. What I do not enjoy, which anybody that is on the Zoom nights with me knows this, and I do not retract my opinion at all, these X stitches. You can kind of see them in the wall right there, the very top part here. Yeah, sure, they look great. I will never, ever, ever do anything with this stitch again. If it's in a pattern, I'll take it out. If there's no way to modify it, I'll rip my yarn all the way out and not finish a project. I hated with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns this cross stitch section. The reason I dislike it is I don't think it's worth it for the time. I don't think that look you get is worth all the time that I put into it, which I don't often say with stitches. It was extremely difficult for me to do because there really wasn't a ton of guidance. And the reason I think there wasn't a ton of guidance is because my issues have a lot to do with tension. I'm a very loose knitter. So you do a loose knitter, and when you make these X stitches, you're undoing like 4 yarn overs. Artemis, I'm recording. I'm recording, so if you could stop that. She's playing with a pom-pom on a hat. Artemis! I threw a pen at her. I didn't hit her, I just scared her. But yeah, I hated these so much. And my tension, when I tried to pass the stitches over, you're supposed to pass 4 over 4, there's no way to get tension. Finally, I ended up using a crochet hook and getting the crochet hook to pull it up to give me the tension that I would need to put it over. But yeah, that was not a fun time. So I will never ever do those again, but it was too late for me to do anything else at this point. So I will finish the shawl. Overall, this is my first time doing a mystery knit along. So thoughts, feelings, it's fun. I have done a mystery knit along with Cozy Up. I've never done a Stephen West mystery knit along. It's only my second mystery knit along. I think the whole concept is fun. I don't need to know what it looks like. The community that you get from it, I'm in several Zoom knitting groups. The community you get from it is phenomenal. You bond over things you love, helping each other out, fixing mistakes if there's mistakes, encouraging people to continue on if they don't care if there's mistakes. That's me. Or giving them encouragement if they can't stand that and they have to rip out and redo it, which more power to y'all because you folks are amazing. I'm not going to do that, but you all keep on keeping on. So yeah, I love it. It's good. I know that Stephen West is kind of world renowned. I don't know if there was issues last year, and so this year wasn't quite the same experience. I thought the shawl would be bigger, and that's kind of why I did the mystery knit along. I know that there's some people that haven't liked how big the shawls got in the past, and so maybe that's why some things are different this year, but I did think it would be bigger, and it was not, which is funny because then my Opus shawl, which I didn't think would be that big, is huge, so it all works out in the wash, as they say. I did enjoy it. I would have gone down in a needle size because you can kind of see through a lot of my shawl, which is fine. It's whatever. The stitches look great. Yeah, would I do it again? Yes. Not right away. I am not doing the hybrid knit along. I won't do it. There's one hat that I want to do. The 2 shawls that he showed, I like the triangle one more. Actually, the crescent shape is probably my least favorite shawl design, and that's what this is. Still good experience, but I won't be doing the hybrid. There's too many other things I want to do, and I don't want to continue just casting on. And if y'all do, that's great. No judgment on all of you. This is just for me. And that triangle shawl reminds me a lot of the Opus shawl. And I know the Opus shawl is mosaic, but it's a lot of slip stitches, which is, I think, what Steven said his triangle shawl was going to be. And then I know he does the cabling on top, so it's not the same, but it looks like it has a construction where you start small, You work up big triangle style, and I just finished the Opus, so no. The other reason is I am going to be starting a different shawl. So I'm going to put the mystery knit along away. So I think I've said this in my last episode, but November is officially my Knit-aversary. It's been 2 years since I started knitting. And so the wonderful folks in several different Zoom groups have encouraged me to start my first KAL, my first knit along. So I'm very excited. So we are going to be doing the Around Every Corner shawl by Stephanie. And, it'll be on the screen. I've started, I do have a Ravelry group page if you want to follow. It's called Dude Knits on Ravelry. There's an introduction thread, there's a chatter thread for this KAL, and there's a thread for finished objects. And so I will be giving out some prizes, to be determined what those are, but I will be doing one for the Ravelry FO thread, and I'll be doing one for Instagram, and we will be using the hashtag DudeKnitsKAL. Should be on the screen right there. So that will be the hashtag we're using. It's a start date of November 15th if you want to join. It is a paid for pattern. It was on sale at one point. I'm not sure if it's still on sale or not, but feel free to join us. I would love it if you would. And it just feels so right to do this it's been 2 years since I started knitting. I'm hosting my first KAL. I'm continuing to love knitting. I'm continuing to learn. This does use intarsia, which I've never done, which I'm excited to learn with you all as we go through. And you need one skein of a background color, and then it calls for 6 colors in a gradient. I am using 5 colors in a gradient, and the lovely folks at Around the Table Yarns had amazing gradients. This is by Sweet Georgia. Look at these lovely blues. I love it so much. So this is in their Tough Love sock, and it has 105 yards per mini skein. And so I think this is the gradient swell. I'm not sure if they still have any more of these, but Around the Table Yarns, wonderful. They're great. Thanks everyone for all of your help picking this out. And that's in Sweet Georgia. And then my main color is going to be from their Perennial, which is 60% superwash, 25% cereal alpaca, 15% nylon. And this is, I think this is the silver. Yes, this is the silver color. So beautiful, wonderful. This is in Perennial. I'm very excited on how these will look together in that shawl. It's not as big of a shawl as a Stephen West or even as my Opus will be, and so I hope it'll be a little bit faster of a KAL, but since it's my first one, and we're approaching the season for a lot of gift knitting, if you're a gift knitter, and it's the new year. I know a lot of new cast-ons happen around now. I want to give enough time for folks to do some other projects and not just exclusively work on my KAL. If you would love to, that's great. More power to you. But I'm going to open it starting November 15th so that people have time to finish up the MKAL or other projects if they're working on it. I'm going to close it January 10th. So that way it's going to give folks not quite a full 2 months, but almost. And so that's the timeline. It's opening November 15th, closing January 10th. So feel free to use the Instagram hashtag. Feel free to post in the Ravelry group if you would like to. Everyone is welcome to join. You don't have to, though. I understand it's a busy time of year. But thank you, everybody that's encouraged me. I'm excited to do this, excited to see how it turns out. I'm excited to have another shawl because I want to have a nice rotation. I love wearing shawls at work, actually, so I'll wear them on days where I'm just kind of tired and I don't want to wear a button-up, but a polo doesn't feel fancy enough, and so then I'll put a shawl on to give me that extra little pop while I'm working. So it's great. So I'm excited, very excited for this. My Knit-aversary is here. It's been an official 2 years since I started as a knitter. And I feel like it was just yesterday, but at the same time, I feel like I've learned so much. And I also feel like there's so much still to learn. it's a great place to be. It really is. I'm very excited, and I'm excited to be part of the community and to share with other people. I'm starting to do a few more things in person with folks. This Sunday, tomorrow, I will be meeting up with people in person at a local coffee shop, including someone that I've been talking to for probably 6 months who wants to start learning how to knit. And so we're going to have our first lesson, quote unquote, just a nice craft day at Kavarna. And she doesn't know this, but I'm probably going to pack like a little welcome to knitting surprise box for her. She wants to start with washcloths and hot pads, which to me, excellent way to start, excellent way to learn. I've got tons of cotton yarn, so I'll bring that to her, kitchen cotton type of stuff to work with. We'll go over knitting, purling. I think I'm probably gonna, I should have printed it out. Fudge, I should have printed it out. I want to teach her the my grandma's favorite dishcloth. That's, I think, a pretty big staple in a lot of people's knitting journey when they first start dishcloths, and it has a lot of the common themes. Maybe I'll start her with just a basic, here's how to cast on, do 40 some stitches for your first square, here's how you bind off. Then after that, start her with the grandma's favorite. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, and I can introduce her to different websites. I have who was it? I think it was Carol from one of the Zoom knitting nights, who's amazing. Carol, if you ever watch this, I appreciate you so much. I think she's the one that told us that there was a website for pretty affordable knitting needles. I think it was Handsome Fibers. I'll find the link and I'll put it right here. But I did put an order in for them, and so I can share that with her. And so I have a bunch of, these are just Knitter Pride, which I think are not bad. I prefer Chowgu needles, but these are a little bit more affordable, and I could try some different things, like 16-inch circular needles for hats. I've never used these before, so this was a lot of fun doing this for the first time. Eventually I needed to go to Magic Loop, which is my usual, but it's nice to have spare needles in case you want to start new projects or keep stuff on. And I've never really had an issue with Knitter's Pride. Again, not my favorite needle in the world, but definitely a workhorse needle. So excited about that. Yeah, so that's coming up. That's some new stuff. I've kind of gone through, I think, everything that I had to share today. A little bit shorter of an episode, but I'm excited for the Cal. All of you that are working on your MCALs, keep going. You can do it. Embrace your own pace. You don't have to be at the last section. You don't have to even be done with it now. If you need a break and go into something new and you can come back to it, do what fills your cup. That's what I say. Not that you need my permission, but do what fills your cup. And if filling your cup means finishing it, that's great. If it means doing something else, that's great too. Thank you all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Feel free to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, all that great stuff if you would like to. Feel free to comment down below. I always appreciate and try and interact with folks. And yeah, think about joining the Cal if you would like to. Thanks so much, everyone. It was good seeing you all. Hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye.